Well, your buddy, he's got a place that rebuilds them mags up here, you know. And that other English guy.
Huh?
Just touch that throttle. Oh, no, just a little bit, just a little bit. Wait, let me get my finger in there. Let it go. Okay, now just touch it, just a little. Oh, a little more. Let go of it. Not time sucker. One's coming up before the other.
Yeah,
Put your finger in that one. Now put your finger in there. Put your finger in the other one, the slide. Put one in each.
yes.
Put one in each. You gotta have.
Your other finger. One on each.
Hey, there you go. You ready?
Yeah.
Now watch. Feel it?
Yeah. I will adjust it.
One before the other. You have to watch that. I got a thing that goes on there, and when you're running it, you'll see the ball float. Tells you how much air it's taking in.
Tu viens?
So what do I need to do?
Photo. Bon. Comme si tu vas démarrer.
I need to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus. Ay. Got the gas on in it?
Yeah, I just turn on enough. Ready?
From here to here, it should be the same length from here to here. If you've got this one here like 37 degrees and this one here 36, is it a little bit degrees faster than the back one?
Okay.
In other words, you have to have it a little bit set up a little bit faster, advanced.
Advance on this one.
That's right.
This one is to pull, this one is to push.
Right. If you get this one pushing this one, it falls flat on its face when you get up around, say 7,000 or 8,000 easy. It'll start falling flat on its face, you know. This one will overtake it. Because see, these are 9-bolt heads in them. And they came with 8-bolt heads. You know what I mean? You take a look at your old type cylinders, they're only 8 bolts going through the head. See, there's a 9th one. See that? It's a 9-bolt head. These are the newer model heads to the lower side bottom. You know what I mean? If you take a look at your other engines, all your new engines are 9-bolt. But back in the 50s and 70s, they're only 8-bolt. The cylinders, if you ever screw these cylinders up, don't give them up. No. You can sleeve them, you can do anything you can, but they're made for 9-bolt heads. They're going in cases.
What year you build that? When you build this one? What year?
Oh shit, this is back in, oh crap.
The frame is a 51.
Yeah, back way in the 60s, man. Yeah. But until 70-something, I held it all the way to Colchester, New Hampshire. I got the picture of the daughter sitting on it. And it was against twin-engine Harleys and twin-engine Hondas.
Yeah.
And the Honda almost had me, but he blew a chain. And that's the only thing they keep it. That's a Harley setup on there.
Yeah, I see
Exactly, you got to have that. You try to use the Triumph or something like that, you'll blow the chains all the time. The magnetos have a lot to do with this, the way they're set. If you run it, you could run a total loss, but you have to have the points open and close. Total loss is no power at all, like you do with that. You can take that distributor right off there. All it is the open and closing of the spark. That's all. The total loss is where you don't have to use the power system in it. That there, when you run the power system, that draws the motor down because that magnet turned into your condenser, your coil inside there, draws the motor down. So you run total loss and you take a look inside there, there's nothing. There's no, all there is a little globe that opens and closes the point.
It's what I see.
The battery's doing it. That's what you do.
And how you did all this all by hand?
What?
The holes.
The hold?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a jig made.
Oh, yeah.
I made a jig to go on there. It was a certain class weight back then. Yeah, they go by weight of the bike too.
And the question we have, how you weld that at this time?
How did I weld it?
Yes.
Just made it out of regular fence pole and welded it with a MIG.
It was a MIG at the time?
Yeah. Shit, yeah.
Oh.
They had them back then.
Oh, okay.
Shit, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's a fence
Power
pole?
company had them.
Fence pole.
Fence pole, okay.
I'm trying to think of the name because that's where I got the lathe off of. Was Denny Haven is Crane Cam. Crane Cams in Hollandale used to have a TIG that would weld things like that. All this is here is fence poles, aluminum fence poles, made into tanks because this was for dual gases. Because I used to run aviation fuel in here.
Well, I just put the 110 on it now.
Yeah, you could put 110. Aviation fuel, and if you wanted to, you put maybe just a dab of STP in it because you didn't want it to be that dry.
Yeah.
You know, for your cylinders.
Yes.
And you don't want to be that dry because it's a certain amount of time, they're hot. And this one here is always hotter than that one, of course.
Yeah.
But the length of this pipe made the difference. See, there was a different piece of pipe on this, I
Yes.
think. It's got to be the same length. You can feel it when you take a temperature here.
Yeah.
When they both reach 80 degrees, the pipes are the right length.
Yeah.
Why I did that, when you go to drag racing, sometime you had to run 1/8 a mile.
Yes.
1/8 a mile, you got to take these two off.
Ah, okay.
See what I mean?
Yes.
That's for the other 1,320 feet where it gives it to push it. Otherwise, it'll fall flat on its face. You can't have the pipes that long in 1/8 of a mile.
Yeah. We did a quarter of one.
Mm-hmm.
We'll show you a video of that. Release.
It's a lot of fun. See, back then they didn't have nothing.
No.
But then when you come up against something that a guy can take out and put on there and tore you up big time. It's a real pain in the butt, but because you just hung on for dear life.
Yeah. We have more time to start this one than this one.
And that one there?
Yes.
Yeah?
To start it. Wow. This one, so much compression.
Well, yeah. It's hard.
We
I
try-
got it. It's
we
like
try-
16-to-1 compression in it.
We try to push it.
No,
No.
no, it just locked up.
Yeah.
You got to get it rolling.
Yeah.
You ever see the piston in it?
We did not open it, yes.
You can put a Buick V8 or straight 8 piston in that sucker.
We'll start this one. I will start this one.
Okay.
This one too.
That's a good idea. You did it off the crankshaft, huh? That don't move that coil. Oh, you're not running total loss. So you could run it, if you wanted this one here to go real fast, you could run it total loss.
La ignition était, yeah.
You take the stator right off it, no power.
Maybe it will not start because the ignition was on.
It takes a lot of torque.
Oh.
Got it in neutral? Yeah. You still got the same valves in it?
I touch nothing.
That's got a lot of compression in it. Don't have the thick head gasket.
This one is so much compression.
Yeah. You got the gaskets, they're thicker.
Yeah.
This is a 16-to-1 gasket in it. Victor 441s has thicker gaskets in it. That's the only way you can bring the compression up. That's why you got to watch your valves too. here, your valve over here has got to be adjusted. You know what I mean? If you see spray coming out of here when it's popping,
The valve is not open.
yeah, right, because they're hard to get to. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the float bolt, I think this is an 89, 389, 650 carburetor. But they're better than the concentrics. With the float down here, up there, you can control it, and you can put the bigger tank on it for fuel. But what did that turn for you? You didn't run it?
No.
No?
I ride it. I
Yeah.
ride it for fun.
Yeah.
Just for fun. But this one is. This one I can ride. This one is kind of. It's brutal. This one is brutal.
Yeah, you got to get off it and push everything on the front because
Yeah.
it'll come up on you. You see, you have no different gear ratio in here. You got to go by your sprocket. That's the smallest sprocket you can get on there, besides the one that's on the drum. It'll just sit there. You got to break it loose. If you sit down on it, it'll just do a wheel. You got to get it smoking and then you lay on
Yeah,
it.
I got one saying on this one, they say maybe you
It's
can
neat.
put the big
It's
pen
a lot of fun. It's just something that.
I'm so happy we start them. You know.
Yeah.
When we the first start we did that, you know, and when we the pop, oh my,
They recorded on their phone doing like,
There's a lot to it. I got a guy that's got a bunch of these here, a bunch of parts of them. He's supposed to be bringing the stuff down to me. I told him I'm not in anymore, but he bought me some other stuff and shit. And if I collect this stuff, that's why I want to find out where you're at. I'll bring it down to you or talk to you about it anyways. Because they still think I found a couple little small ones. See the motors laying over there outside the gate. They know I work on this stuff and they leave me motors and...
but we have fun.
You'll learn how that is on the flat spar, you know, because you could change it. If you go to 8th mile, you got to take this out.
Yeah.
You don't need no velocity stack, but you should have one because as you go, that's coming by, especially if you got your leg down next to
Yes.
it. See what I mean? It hits it and it goes right back into the carburetor.
Yeah.
You got to let it whoosh right by it. And then the rest of the stuff they had to put on it because they required it. But Miami, I had a lot of fun with it because they for the longest time 250 PSA. I never told them. Yeah, that was shit. The guy says, that don't look, that's a big sound. Is it a 350? No, it's not a 350. It's a 250.
441.
You know, when you outlawed run, when you got out in PBIR was in West Palm Beach.
Yeah.
That's out there near the Pratt Whitney plant. That's a good drag strip to go over there. Just to screw around with it. It was something that was stupid. I had nothing else to do, but I had more of them than I know what to do with. People didn't know nothing about it.
But you win race with these two bikes.
Yeah. A lot of that is on off tracks. If you go to new tracks and they have something, they're up against it, they know how to do it right off the bat. People back then didn't have no idea. And they would come and they knew what button to push, and then you'd get halfway down the track and it'd fall apart with them GPs. You had to keep people away from it.
Yeah.
And you had to take and put tape across it because they know to turn that little adjustment screw over there just a quarter of a turn, it'll fall flat on its face. If they know that type of carburetor, see? When they had just the injectors, even if you had float bolts on the back one on there, see? But I had them set inside and you couldn't do it on the outside one. The other one's from a Norton and these series from BSA. Where the flat bolt was. Because they suck up the fuel fast. That's all you got. When you get down there, you better get your act together because if you're going to get somebody to pick you up, it's okay. But you're only going to go 1,500 feet.
Yeah. This sucks, guys.
Oh, yeah.
We see that. We see that. But that's so cool.
But see, back then they went light. That's why I did a lot of hole drilling. And it didn't help it much. People said they lost their strength. No, it didn't. That's hard steel.
Oh, it did not say.
Yeah.
I will show you a video. The strain is there.
Yeah. Well, you extended it to fit the engines into it. This was in the experimenting stages way back then, you know.
Yeah.
It was altogether different. And you had to work on what you get because Triumph and BSA would give you nothing.
No.
You ever seen these made together backwards? You know this is one of the only engines that you can take the head and put the headboard on backwards?
Yes.
You know what I
I see
mean?
that.
Make the exhaust come out.
Yeah.
All you do is go from your exhaust cam to the intake cam because it's the same thing. You can't do that with a Triumph. That's right. The Triumphs, all you do is take the intake cam, put it on the exhaust, pick the exhaust cam on the intake.
And it works.
And you had it backwards. I had three-wheelers like that. And you had the exhaust pipes. It had the exhaust pipes coming out the back, straight out the back. People look at the carburetors are up front. No, Triumph's carburetor's supposed to be behind it. The heads go on. The 8-bolt heads go on.
8 volt.
The 9-bolt, then you got to take the cylinder, the whole cylinder turn.
And then the skirts, you got to cut the skirts because when the flywheel comes so close, the handle comes so close, you cut the skirt. But you don't need the skirts when you're screwing around with this. The less friction you have, the better off you are.
It's so much fun.
This one was a lot of fun because I could take 2 or 3 of them engines. There you could, but it was a lot harder to change the engine. And if something happened, you put it, because that's all in the same gearbox in the thing, you know. And then you got a couple of 350s. The gearbox was different. You can get a higher gearbox. So if you get that back wheel to do its job, you know what I mean? Because that wheel right there, that's why. But a 19, you see how it's a bigger rim over there? And they could never figure that out because in a quarter mile, if you got a 19-inch tire in the back, you have to turn it 182 times. See what I mean? To get 1,320 foot. If you got an 18-inch on the back, you got to turn it 224 times. So
you calculate everything.
Yeah, right. Because the distance, you had to have the power to turn it. So here your tire's going wah, and you're still turning maybe 9,000, but the tire ain't doing nothing for you. It's sitting there smoking. You want to get an ET from point A to point B as fast as you can. Well, they never seen 19-inch tires on it before. 18-inch tires used to be back on BSAs and Triumphs, and 19's on the front.
Yes.
So that's spoke for put it on there. You have to. Then you could figure out your gearbox because you could only go so small. See what I mean? On there, you could only go so small. What have you got? Except for the select shift transmission, that's all you got. And a lot of people don't know how to drive a select shift transmission. You put it in gear, and you can take your hand off the lever. Really hang on to the handlebar. But when you slide your foot off the clutch, it's gone. That's it. Eye, teeth, and hair all over. And the only time you want to put it on is when you want to go for fourth. But you're going to go second and fourth. If you have to go through another gear, each one of them split seconds to go through a gear to make it do its sliding, you're wasted. You got another select shift transmission. I think you did. You know how to tell the difference between a select transmission?
I don't have a transmission. I just have a BSA transmission. It was no transmission in a...
No, it's select shift is this here. See that lever?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch that lever. You ready?
Yeah.
There you go?
Yeah.
Okay. You can change gears.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, push down on the shifter. Push down on the shifter.
Right.
Watch it. The bike will still be, then it'll be in gear.
Yeah.
Okay, and if I take and click this off here, the select shift is supposed to make that thing so it don't go until you let go. In other words, you got it in start and you go like that.
Yeah.
When you let go of this up here, this is supposed to stay in. When you let go of the clutch pedal.
Okay, I understand.
You know what select shift
Yes,
is?
yes, no, but a transmission, I just got one.
It's supposed to be select shift.
I just got this one.
Well, no, there's more. Select shift transmission has metal cases on it.
I don't have, in all the parts we bought, it was just, I did not have any.
Yeah, you got some transmissions.
No.
Yeah. No. They took them out of there.
No, it was, transmission was on a yellow box, we never take them.
No. That one's select. I don't think it's in there. It might be in there. The difference between select and check.
I know what you speak about.
The
that.
case is yellow.
Yes,
It's aluminum.
I know that, but I don't have. The only transmission I have I got a lot of engine. I just have one transmission like that. It's a BSA.
Matter of fact, maybe you might have.
Because I remember it was a big yellow cases with magnet and transmission, but we never take them. We forget about them today.
Did that guy that hung around here and didn't do nothing, does he work for you or what?
Which one?
The
The French guy?
No, the French guy, I liked him.
Yeah.
That other guy that just hung around, what was his name? You
Chuck?
gave him a bunch of racing oil in back there.
Chuck.
Right? I know if that's him. Does he work for you?
Yes.
I don't think he's working for you.
Yeah, he worked for me.
Because I told him, I said, that fuel mixture that was back there, the Castro R and fuel mixture, I was keeping that.
Yeah.
I told Woody, called the French guy, everything in his case stays there. But then he went out the door with a bunch of it, and I told him I didn't want that stuff. That's what you're going to have to use in something like this here.
Yeah. I'm happy to show them running.
Select shift. We'll see if they're in there. You got something you can take this stuff
Yes.
back with now.
Yeah, I got one.
You get in there. We don't think we even have to move it. Because there was a full set. There's a set of cases for unit construction and shocks and everything in there. Can't remember if there was another box in there or not. But that's supposed to be select shift. Somebody took the select shift out of it. But I'm almost sure I had this cut off.
We did not touch nothing on the bike. Nothing.
Yeah.
And the bike always stay at my house.
Because there's some, you got a tray, but I think they were put in a bowl. You got a tray with oil pumps, Triumph oil pumps in it, brass oil pumps.
Yes.
Okay, there's two of them that go to this engine. They have a bigger in and a bigger out intake. When you turn the things over, you'll take and you'll see a bigger hole. There's holes where the oil go to.
Yeah.
It pumps more. If you slide the pistons out, you'll see they're bigger. Pumps more oil. You know what I'm talking about?
I will look for that.
These are regular, some of them are just, you'll take a look and you'll see a regular Triumph one. As this pin comes out, it tells you how much pressure, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the pumps inside of them, if you take those pumps, they were in a tray or a box, and you turn them over, you'll see there's 4 holes in there, and the holes will be bigger.
Yeah.
That's the ones that takes the amount of oil to push in this here. You want more oil than the pushing in it.
Okay.
Of course, I use Kendall. Most of all my racing bikes, all Kendall. I was a Kendall freak back then. Yeah, they were good. They took good care of me. Yeah, there were different gaskets on there too. They did a good job.
You did a good job.
Well, I had a lot of fun with it. You know what I mean? Once it got to be where I just hang it up because everybody wanted to run it.
Yeah.
You know, I run it down 27 over here. Cops let me do it just to screw around. But then after that, you just say all it is a headache. Hey, fire it up. Hey, fire it up. And you know what it is when you fire it up. If you don't do something with it,
Yeah.
it just sits and it's going bad.
Yeah. But I did. I put a can for the oil because
Yep.
that's the only thing I did that and put some new chain.
Yep. And it's sweat pumps too. Don't let the oil drain down. But there ain't much in here. You know what I mean?
No.
That's all you got to feed the damn cylinders. You have to watch it too. That's why I had them on there so you can see that little pin come out. You know, right off the bat. You didn't have much time because you pulled up to a roller and you popped it and off you went.
Show you a video. Viens, Morgan.